Welcome to this simple English story. Today, we will follow the journey of a young woman named Mina. Her life is quiet, her dream is big, and her path is not easy. Mina starts with almost no English, only a few words and a lot of fear. But she makes one small decision: to try, just a little, every day. This is not a story about fast success. This is a story about patience, about small steps, about never giving up. If you are learning English, if you feel slow, if you feel afraid, this story is for you. Take a deep breath, relax, and let's begin. Mina lived in a quiet town with small streets, old shops, and warm morning light. Her apartment was not big. It had a small table, a thin sofa, and a window that looked out at a row of trees. Every morning, the same birds came to the same branch outside her window. Mina liked that. It made the day feel calm. Mina was 27 years old. She had a simple job in a local store where she helped clean shelves and carry boxes. She worked hard, but life still felt heavy. She had one big problem. She could not speak English. She knew only a few words: yes, no, thank you, hello. Her mouth felt stiff when she tried to say more. Her mind went blank. English words looked strange and far away. They felt like little stones in a long road, too many, too hard. Mina had always wanted more from life. She wanted a better job one day. She wanted to travel. She wanted to understand movies, signs, and simple books. She wanted to feel free. But every time she thought about English, fear came first. Fear of mistakes, fear of sounding silly, fear of failing. Most days, Mina came home tired. She took off her shoes, washed her hands, and sat in silence for a while. Then she looked at her phone. She watched people online speaking English fast and smooth. It looked easy for them. It looked impossible for her. Still, a small thought lived inside her. Maybe she could learn. Maybe not fast, maybe not in one day, but little by little, step by step. That thought stayed in her chest like a tiny light. One evening, Mina saw a simple video about daily habits. The video said that small steps done every day can change a life. That idea touched her deeply. She did not feel excited in a loud way. She felt quiet. But something opened inside her. She got a notebook from a drawer. It was old and plain. She opened the first page and wrote a goal in simple letters: learn English every day. Just a little. Do not quit. Her hand shook a little. Still, she smiled. It was not a big smile. It was a small one, but it was real. She started with one word a day. That was the beginning. Recap. Mina had a simple life, a big dream, and a lot of fear. She did not know English, but she made a small promise to begin. Chapter 2. The first steps are small. Mina did not try to do too much on the first day. She knew that big plans often die when they are too heavy. So she made her first rule simple: study for 10 minutes every day. That was it. 10 minutes. She woke up early before work. The room was quiet. The air was cool. She sat at her small table with a pencil, a notebook, and a free English app on her phone. The screen showed basic words: apple, book, house, water, friend, work. Mina repeated the words slowly in her head. Her voice was low. Her mouth felt strange. Some sounds came out wrong. Some words slipped away. She wrote them anyway. She said them again. She wrote them again. At first, it felt silly, very silly. Her mind wanted to stop. Her hands wanted to drop the pencil. 10 minutes can feel long when the work is hard and the brain is tired. But she stayed there. She learned that an apple is a fruit. She learned that a book has pages. She learned that water is for drinking. These were tiny things, but tiny things matter. Tiny things build a wall. Tiny things build a road. After work, she studied again for 10 more minutes. Her eyes were tired. Her back hurt. Sometimes she yawned again and again, but she did not skip the day. On the third day, she forgot some words. On the fourth day, she mixed up two simple sounds. On the fifth day, she felt angry at herself. Why was this so hard? Why did other people learn faster? Why did her brain feel slow? She almost stopped. That night, she sat on her bed and looked at the notebook. One page had only a few words. Another page had many mistakes. The pages did not look impressive at all, but they were real. They showed effort. They showed time. Mina took a deep breath. She looked at the pages again. Then she set the notebook back on the table. Not tomorrow, not later, now. She opened the app and studied 3 more words before sleep. She learned that success often starts in a quiet room with a simple habit. Recap. Mina began with 10 minutes a day. She made mistakes, felt tired, and nearly quit, but she stayed with the habit. Chapter 3. Hard Days and Honest Work. Mina's life did not become easy just because she started learning English. In fact, some days became harder. When people at work used simple English, she nodded and smiled, even when she did not understand. She hated that feeling. It made her feel small. Sometimes she had to read labels in English. She guessed the meaning from pictures. Sometimes she got confused and asked for help by pointing. Her face felt hot when that happened. She wanted to hide. She wanted to be invisible. At home, her English notebook waited for her like a quiet friend. Some days she opened it with hope. Other days she opened it with sadness. She saw the same slow progress, a few words, a few new phrases, a few old mistakes. It was not exciting. It was not fast. It was just work. Mina began to notice something important. Learning was not about feeling good every day. It was about doing the work even on bad days. That truth was not fancy. It was plain and strong. She made a new plan. On Monday, she would learn basic words. On Tuesday, she would practice simple sentences. On Wednesday, she would review the same words again. On Thursday, she would listen to slow English audio. On Friday, she would write short sentences in her notebook. On Saturday, she would review everything. On Sunday, she would rest a little and read old pages. Her notebook filled slowly, page by page, word by word, sentence by sentence. She wrote things like, I am Mina. I like tea. I go to work. This is my bag. The pen is blue. The day is cold. The store is open. Many sentences were not perfect. Some had wrong grammar. Some had missing words. But Mina did not throw them away. She kept them. She learned from them. One rainy afternoon, after a hard day, she came home and sat by the window. Rain tapped the glass in a soft rhythm. She felt tired and lost. The dream of speaking English one day felt far away again. Her heart became heavy, but she remembered something simple. A tree grows in rain and sun, not only sun, rain too. So she opened her notebook and studied for 10 minutes. Only 10, but she did it. That small action brought back a little peace. Recap. Mina faced embarrassment, confusion, and slow progress. She made a weekly study plan and kept going, even on hard days. Chapter 4. A Friend in Quiet Form. One morning, Mina met Mr. Ellis at the community center. He was an older man who helped people with reading and study habits. He was calm and patient. He wore simple glasses and carried a stack of books under one arm. He did not speak much in a loud way. He moved slowly and carefully, like someone who knew that good things take time. Mina saw him organizing books on a shelf. She watched how he placed them by level, by topic, and by use. He seemed to care about order. She liked that. Order felt safe. Mr. Ellis noticed her looking at the English practice books. He wrote a short note on a paper and pointed to a free study group board. The note showed times for simple English practice. Mina felt nervous. She almost walked away, but she stayed. She began attending the group once a week. The room was simple. The chairs were plain. The desk was old. The people there were at different levels, but the practice was gentle. They used easy words, pictures, and slow reading. Mina did not talk much at first. She listened, she wrote, she repeated sounds quietly to herself. Mr. Ellis never rushed her. He checked her notebook. He marked her mistakes with small pencil lines. He showed her where to improve. He pointed to repeated words and asked her to try again. His help was calm and steady. This support mattered more than Mina knew. Before this, she felt alone with her struggle. Now she saw that learning could happen with help. It did not make her weak, it made her stronger. She learned to trust the process more. At home, she copied a few words from the class into her notebook. She practiced the same words many times. Name, time, work, help, try, learn, again. Again became an important word in her life. She made mistakes every day. She missed some sounds. She forgot some words. She wrote a sentence one way in the morning and another way in the evening. But every mistake gave her information. Every mistake showed her where to look next. Mina started to see learning as a path, not a test. A path with small stones, a path with turns, a path with long days and short wins, but still a path. Recap. Mina found quiet support at the community center. A calm mentor helped her stay organized, and her practice became more steady. Chapter 5. The Power of Repetition. By the second month, Mina understood something that changed everything. Repetition was not boring. Repetition was power. She heard the same word many times. She saw it in a sentence. She wrote it. She said it. She read it again. Then it began to stay in her memory. Her favorite part of the day became morning study. The house was still. The world was soft. She made tea, sat down, and reviewed old words before learning new ones. She used flashcards made from plain paper. One side had the English word, The other side had a simple meaning or picture. She kept the cards in a small box. Every day she moved through them slowly. Some cards came easily. Some cards made her think hard. Some cards were forgotten again and again. She did not get angry as often now. She had learned that forgetting is normal. Forgetting does not mean failure. It means more practice is needed. She repeated basic verbs many times. Go, come, eat, see, read, write, make, take, speak, listen. She repeated time words: today, yesterday, tomorrow, morning, evening, soon, later. She repeated small, useful phrases. I am here. I need help. I am learning. I do my best. I will try again. These phrases felt like tools, useful tools. At first, Mina could not say them smoothly. Her tongue felt slow. Her mouth did not know the shape of the sounds. She made strange pauses. She forgot endings. She spoke too softly, but she kept trying. One day, she read a short line in a practice book without stopping. It was only one line. Still, her heart jumped. It was a tiny victory, a small one, but small wins are real wins. She wrote the date in her notebook and drew a small star next to it. That star meant progress. The stars began to appear more often. Recap. Mina learned that repetition helps memory. She practiced the same words and phrases again and again until they began to stay. Chapter 6. The Voice Inside Her Head. Even with progress, Mina still had hard thoughts. Her mind often spoke against her. It told her she was too old to start. It told her she was too slow. It told her other people had better brains. It told her she was wasting time. These thoughts were not true, but they felt strong. On some nights, Mina sat at her table and stared at her notebook without moving. She felt fear in her chest. What if she never became fluent? What if she always made mistakes? What if she studied for years and still sounded weak? That fear was deep. It was real. It pressed down on her like a heavy bag. But Mina learned another lesson. Feelings are not always facts. She was afraid, that was true, but fear did not mean stop. Fear did not mean quit. Fear was only a sign that the work mattered. So on the nights when she felt small, she did the smallest possible task. She read 5 words. She wrote 1 sentence. She listened to 1 short audio clip. She repeated 1 line 10 times. This helped more than she expected. Tiny actions kept the habit alive. Tiny actions protected her confidence. She also began speaking alone in her room. Not in a perfect way, not in a polished way, just simple practice. She looked at objects and named them: table, cup, door, chair, light, window. She said simple sentences about her day. I wake up early. I drink tea. I work hard. I study English. I keep going. Her voice sounded weak at first, then a little stronger, then clearer. She heard herself improving slowly. Mina began to feel something new. Not comfort, not greatness, just trust. Trust in her own effort. She no longer waited to feel ready. She acted first. Ready came later. Recap. Mina faced fear and negative thoughts. She learned that fear does not mean failure, and she kept moving with tiny daily steps. Chapter 7. small changes at work. Months passed. Mina's English was still simple, but it was no longer empty. She began to understand more words at work. She could read basic signs faster. She could follow short instructions better. She still needed help sometimes, but not as often. Her coworkers noticed that she smiled less from fear and more from calm. Her eyes looked more certain. Her body felt less tight. One day, a new worker came to the store and needed help with a shelf label in English. Mina looked at the label and understood part of it, not all of it, just part. But that was enough to help a little. She pointed, showed the item, and used simple words to explain. It was not perfect. Still, it worked. This moment felt huge to her. She went home that evening with a light step. Her feet were still tired, but her mind felt proud. She had used English in real life, not in a practice book, not only in a notebook, in real life. She wrote about the moment in her journal. She did not write a long story. She wrote short lines. I understood. I helped. I was not afraid. I tried. It worked. That small event made her believe in her path more deeply. She kept her routine, morning review, afternoon listening, evening writing. No big change, just steady work. That was the magic, even if it did not look like magic. A clean habit can change a life in quiet ways. Recap. Mina used English at work for the first time in a small way. That simple success gave her new confidence and proved that her practice was real. Chapter 8. The Slow Climb. The next season came. The air changed. The trees changed. Mina changed too. Her study notebook now had many pages. The first pages looked rough and full of mistakes. The later pages looked cleaner. Some words were underlined. Some phrases were repeated. Some sentences were written 3 or 4 times. The notebook told the story of her effort better than any speech could. She began to study a little grammar, not too much at once, just enough to understand basic sentence order. She learned how simple present tense works. She learned about he, she, it, and they. She learned that small grammar rules can make writing clearer. She made many errors, many, but each one taught her something. She also listened to easy English stories while doing chores, washing dishes, while folding clothes, while sweeping the floor. She did not understand every word. That was okay. She caught more and more each week. At first, English sounded like fast noise. Later, some words stood out. Later, short lines made sense. Later still, she could follow the meaning of a simple story. This slow climb became a part of her life. Mina stopped looking for fast success. Fast success is often weak. Slow success is stronger. It grows with roots. She began to take better care of her health, too. She slept earlier. She drank more water. She ate on time. She noticed that her brain worked better when her body was not too tired. Her life became more ordered. Wake up, study, work, review, rest, repeat. That repeat was not boring anymore. It was her path. Recap. Mina's English improved slowly through grammar, listening, and daily review. Her whole life became more disciplined and organized. Chapter 9. Doubt comes back. Just when things felt stable, doubt returned. This happened after Mina saw a notice at the community center about a simple office job that needed basic English. The job was not huge, it was not glamorous, but it was better than her current work. It had a desk, a phone, and some English reading. Her heart beat fast when she saw it. The idea excited her. Then fear came right behind it. Could she really do it? Could she understand enough? Could she speak clearly? Could she answer simple questions? Could she handle pressure? For a few days, her confidence dropped. She studied harder, but now the study felt heavy. Every mistake seemed bigger. Every weak sentence seemed like proof that she was not ready. She almost stopped applying. Then Mr. Ellis helped in his quiet way. He placed practice papers on the table, simple forms and easy reading pages. He organized a few practice tasks and watched her work through them. He pointed to the same errors she had seen before. He did not push, he only guided. Mina realized something important again. She did not need to be perfect, she needed to be ready enough. Enough was a real word. Enough was useful. So she kept studying. She filled pages with common office words: name, date, form, call, answer, message, please wait, thank you, I will help. She practiced simple reading at a steady pace. She reviewed polite phrases. She learned how to write short notes. She learned to stay calm when she did not know every word. The doubt did not disappear fully. It never does, but it became smaller. Recap. Mina wanted a better job, but doubt returned. She kept practicing with support and learned that she only needed to be ready enough, not perfect. Chapter 10. The big day comes near. The day of the job test and interview came close. Mina woke up earlier than usual. Her room looked the same, but the morning felt different. The air felt sharp. Her hands felt cold. She looked at her notebook and saw months of work inside it. Thousands of small efforts, many tears, many repeats, many quiet wins. She wore simple, clean clothes. She packed her papers. She checked them twice. Then she checked them again. Her stomach felt tight. Her mind tried to go blank, but she kept breathing slowly. On the bus ride, she looked out the window and repeated simple English in her head. My name is Mina. I am learning. I am ready to try. I can do hard things, one step at a time. The building was larger than she expected. The hallway was bright. People walked fast. Her heart pounded, but she stayed steady. She waited with other people. Some looked confident. Some looked nervous. Some talked easily. Mina stayed quiet. She opened her notebook and read a few simple lines. Her fingers trembled, but she did not close the notebook. When her turn came, she went in with a calm face. Her English was not perfect. Her grammar was simple. Her voice was soft at first, but she understood the basic questions. She answered in short, clear words. She did not panic when she forgot one sentence. She paused, then continued. That was new. Before, she would have frozen. Now she kept going. The test had reading, writing, and listening parts. She made some mistakes. She knew that. But she also finished more than she thought she could. She read faster than before. She wrote cleaner sentences. She understood more of the audio than she expected. When it was over, she felt tired and unsure. She did not know if she had done enough, but she also knew this: she had grown. No result could erase that. Recap. Mina faced her biggest English test so far. She stayed calm, used her practice, and showed real progress under pressure. Chapter 11. Waiting and Working. After the test, Mina had to wait. Waiting is hard. It can pull a person apart. Mina checked her phone too often. She thought about every answer. She remembered every mistake. She wondered if she had failed. She wondered if the dream was still too far away. During this waiting time, she did not stop studying. She knew that life does not pause just because one big moment ends, so she kept her habit. 10 minutes became 20. 20 became 30 on some days. Not because she forced it too hard, but because she felt stronger and more focused. She reviewed old pages and made new ones. She learned more common office phrases. She practiced short emails. She practiced simple phone language. She practiced how to ask for clarification in easy English. She also began to help a younger neighbor with basic word practice. Nothing formal, just a little support. She showed simple flashcards and helped organize them. This made her feel surprised. She was no longer only a learner. She was also becoming someone who could help. That feeling was big. Mina still had low days. Some mornings she woke up tired and doubtful. Some evenings she thought she was moving too slowly. But now she had proof. Her notebook, her tests, her work, her growing understanding, her calm under stress. She kept going. Recap. Mina waited for the result, but did not stop. She kept studying, practiced more useful English, and even began helping others a little. Chapter 12. A new door opens. One afternoon, the call came. Mina was at home, folding clean clothes. The phone vibrated on the table. She looked at it. Her breath stopped for a second, and she answered. Her face changed as she listened. Her hands went still. Her eyes widened. Then she sat down slowly. She had passed. The new office job was hers. For a moment she did not move. The room felt silent. The air felt full. Months and months of effort came together in that one moment. She did not scream. She did not jump around. She only covered her mouth with one hand and closed her eyes. Then tears came. Quiet tears. Not sad tears. Deep tears. The kind that come after long work and long hope. She thought of the first notebook page. She thought of the small 10-minute promise. She thought of the hard mornings, the bad days, the mistakes, the shame, the fear, the endless repetition, the pages and pages of simple words. It had all mattered. At the new job, things were still not easy. She still made mistakes. She still asked for help sometimes, but now she understood enough to do her work. She read short messages. She answered simple calls. She wrote basic notes. She learned new office words each week. Her confidence grew in a real way. Not fake, not loud. Real. Recap. Mina got the job. Her long effort opened a new door, and she entered it with courage and growing skill. Chapter 13. Becoming a new person. Months later, Mina was not the same person she had been at the start. She still lived in the same town. She still liked morning tea. She still walked the same streets. But inside, she had changed. She no longer saw English as a wall. She saw it as a road she had built herself, step by step. Her speaking was simple but clear enough. Her reading was slow but stronger. Her writing had fewer mistakes. Her listening had improved a lot. She could follow short conversations in the office and understand basic instructions. She could read messages without fear. She could ask for help with calmness instead of shame. She also carried herself differently. Her shoulders were less tight. Her eyes looked steady. Her voice came out with more strength. Her mind did not collapse as fast when something felt hard. The biggest change was not only English, it was discipline. She had learned to trust small daily work. She had learned to stay patient. She had learned to keep going when progress was slow. She had learned that hard work is not always dramatic. Sometimes it is just a person sitting at a table every day, reading one more page, writing one more sentence, trying one more time. That kind of work changes a person deeply. Mina kept her notebook even after her life got better. She did not throw it away. She looked at the first pages now and smiled. Those pages reminded her of where she started. They reminded her that no one begins at the top. Everyone begins somewhere small. Recap. Mina became more confident, more skilled, and more disciplined. English was no longer a fear, it was part of her real life. Chapter 14. The moment she never forgot. The final moment came in a simple room at work. A group of visitors arrived. They spoke English. The office manager needed someone to explain a few basic things and help with simple directions. Mina was asked to step forward. Her heart beat faster. This was not a test paper. This was real life. She stood there with steady feet. Her hands were still a little nervous, but not shaking like before. She listened carefully. She understood the main ideas. She answered simply and clearly. She used short sentences. She did not try to sound fancy. She just tried to be useful. The room stayed calm. The work moved forward. Mina did her part. Afterward, when the visitors left, she stood by the window for a moment and looked outside. The sky was bright. Cars moved below. People walked in the distance. Everything looked ordinary, but her heart was full. She remembered the girl she used to be, the one who feared one simple sentence, the one who thought English belonged to other people, the one who felt too late, too weak, too far behind. That girl was not gone. She had grown. Mina smiled at the memory of her old fear. She felt grateful for the struggle. Not because struggle is fun, it is not, but because struggle had shaped her. It had taught her patience, effort, and courage. She had not changed by accident. She had changed by habit.
Keep going. Do not quit. Stay strong. One step at a time. These words were no longer only words to her. They were her life. Recap. Mina faced a real English moment at work and handled it with calm skill. Her confidence was now part of who she was. Chapter 15. A quiet success. Mina's success was not loud. It did not happen in one bright flash. It grew quietly, like a tree that slowly becomes strong enough to stand through wind. She kept studying English, even after she got the job. She knew that learning does not end. It grows. She read simple news. She wrote notes. She practiced new words. She listened on the way to work. She reviewed old mistakes and used them as fuel. Sometimes she still felt lazy. Sometimes she still felt tired. Sometimes she still made mistakes and laughed softly at herself. That was okay. She no longer used mistakes as proof that she could not learn. She used them as part of learning. She had become a person who trusted effort. Her life improved in many small ways. She earned more money. She saved a little. She helped her family more. She felt proud when she spoke to people with more ease. She felt calm when reading signs. She felt strong when learning something new. And perhaps the most beautiful change was this. She no longer looked at other people and felt only envy. She looked at them and thought, I can grow too. I can build my own path. That thought changed everything. Mina's story became a simple truth for herself and for anyone who saw her journey. Success is not always about speed. It is about showing up. It is about small work done again and again. It is about patience. It is about discipline. It is about refusing to give up when progress feels slow. Mina began with almost nothing in English, just a few words, a few fears, a small notebook. She ended with confidence, skill, and a new life. That was the power of consistency. Final recap. Mina learned English from zero by studying a little every day. She faced fear, made mistakes, stayed strong, and built success step by step. Final ending. Mina sat at her desk one evening after work and opened her notebook one more time. The pages were full now. Old pages, new pages, mistakes, corrections, words, sentences, stars, dates, notes, tiny victories, long days, quiet proof. She closed the notebook softly and smiled. She was not the same person anymore. She had started with fear. She ended with strength. She had started with almost no English.
She ended with a real voice. She had started alone. She ended with support, skill, and confidence. And she learned the lesson that stayed in her heart forever. Do a little every day. Stay patient. Keep going. Do not quit. One step at a time. That is how a life changes. That is how success is built. That is how Mina became the person she once thought she could never be.